Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Earlier this week, we saw a major weapon tuning update go live that made some pretty drastic changes to a lot of Vanguard guns, a lot of the top main long range options. Like, it was a seriously impactful meta tuning update, and today we're going over the new best loadouts you want to be running after this update. As we break them all down, if you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, so feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. Now, first up here we have probably what's going to be one of my main loadouts for the foreseeable future. Of course, as we go through all these classes today, you can flip-flop the primary and the secondary if you want to use this rifle with this sub or this LMG with that sub. Feel free to do so. This is just how I have them organized throughout the video. But this first setup, XM4 Welgun. XM4 I truly think is the new best long-range gun after the AK was nerfed. Welgun, easily one of the top choices for close-range SMG dominance, but also some sniper support as well. Real quick, perks and equipment, this is the same on all my loadouts. Double time overkill amps, throwing knife stim, that'll be the same for every single class today. When it comes to the XM4, same setup as always in the same usual copy and paste setup for all the Cold War rifles that we're going to break down today. Agency, Task Force, Field Agent 60, and then 3x optic. Nothing has changed with any of these Cold War rifle setups, but the order of how dominant they are has definitely changed, especially with this last update. I mean, this XM4 is frying. Then for the Welgun, it's pretty much the same setup we've been running. However, because of the changes that were made to the Welgun and it's like a little buff to its sniper support area, I do feel like you can adjust one thing depending on how you want to build this gun. But recoil booster, shrouded slate, remove stock, acrobatic quick, fabric for the better ADS, Gorenko 40 lengthened hand stop. Phenomenal setup. That said, if you want to mess around with the Gawan short barrel for the better fire rate and make this a very aggressive close range version of the Welgun, you can do so now with less of a punishment at 15 to 20 meters than before because of that buff. So you can definitely flip-flop these barrels and both will be really, really good builds. Following that, I got the FARA and I got the Owen gun, or the FARA, however you want to pronounce it. This thing is so easy to use. Low recoil, good mobility, decent ADS. It could be faster, but it also could be slower, right? The key thing here though is it is now even closer to competing with the XM4 and the Vargo, basically being identical with the Vargo for what it's worth in terms of long range stats. And that, to me, a lot of players aren't talking about the FARA right now. They're talking about the XM4, the AK. This is a sleeper gun. It is right there neck and neck with these other top rifles. This absolutely is a great choice. And we all know about the Owen gun. It's the best SMG in the game, and it's not really a debate, right? As far as the FARA goes, see what I did there? But I didn't mean to do it there. It's the same setup as before. Groove suppressor, RPK barrel, Spetsnaz 60, and the 3x optic once more. For the Owen gun, for what it's worth, I am going to have a video later on this week breaking down a bunch of different Owen gun stats and really truly figuring out what is the best go-to loadout. But this is one you could never go wrong with. Same setup that we've been using for a while now. Recoil booster, rapid barrel, the 47 optic. You could use a slate. You could use the slate 2.5 times, whatever you're the most comfortable with. Remove stock for better mobility, acrobatic and quick as always. Polymer per usual for better control, or fabric for a better ADS. Gorenko 72, lengthened, and then hand stop on there as well. Next up, bit of a switch up, if you will. We got the Bruen, which now, again, because that AK nerf, this is one of the main top options in the game in terms of TTK. Better than the Bren was when it was the top meta option. Like, the Bruen is a sleeper as well. More people should be on this than what is currently, because this thing will fry. And I got the OTS alongside with it. So the Bruen setup, no surprises here, being that it is an MW gun. Monolithic suppressor, going for the Summit barrel, also going for the VOK 3x optic, the 60 round mags to make it like that AR LMG hybrid, and then either the Commando foregrip or the tac laser. Totally comes down to whether you want that faster ADS or better control overall. Make your decision based off of that. You can't go wrong with either of those. Then the OTS setup, pretty standard here. Groove suppressor, Task Force barrel, great strafe speed there for what it's worth. Tiger Team and Bruiser for the best mobility possible. Then the 40 round fast mag as well. Loving the OTS. It moves so fast, but also kills so fast. Moving on, we got the AMAX. We got the MP40. AMAX and the XM4, at least in my opinion, are those top two long range guns right now. On Caldera with 300 HP, the AMAX has the best TTK over long range. Obviously though, its drawback is the max 45 round mags and a bit of visual recoil, but the thing is still an absolute beast. You cannot deny that. The stats are there. It just is a powerhouse. Monolithic suppressor, Zodiac barrel, Commando foregrip, or tac laser, 45 round mag, VOK 3x optic. Yet again, no real changes there. For the MP40 setup, we're going for our usual max mobility, but also now even better velocity, close range, build. Short barrel got a buff with the update and it's now better than ever. Also running the slate reflector, going for the folding stock for better mobility, going for steady for the perk. I don't really like any of the perk 1 perks. Perk 2, we're going for quick. Also going for the fabric grip here, better ADS. The 45 Garanko mags, going for lengthen as well, better for like some of those mid-range fights. And then lastly, the skeletal underbarrel for a better ADS speed. By far one of my favorite builds right now. Next up, 2 Vanguard guns. The STG, which obviously was buffed and is now a great choice for medium range and long range. Super low recoil, not necessarily the best TTK in the world, but it's going to be able to compete just fine with things like the XM4 or the AK or the C58, you know, stuff like that, that maybe has a bit more recoil. You might miss some more shots with those guns, land some more shots with this, and you'll have a better TTK in the end. Setup here is pretty straightforward. Going for the MX silencer to keep us off the radar and extend that range a little bit. 760mm barrel for the best velocity and range as well. I personally like the 3x optic on here for my ranged fights. It's just what I'm most comfortable with. Weighted stock's going to be the best for long range. Folding you could use on like Rebirth though for sure. Going for hand stop here per usual. Garanko 50 is a great choice here. It's going to be even easier to use. I just personally like the Kurz 60. Like this just feels really, really good in my opinion. But you can't go wrong with either of those options. Feel free to test them both out and see which one you are more consistent with. And that's how I would base your setup there. Obviously we're going for lengthened. Also going to go for polymer for the long range control. I don't really like any of these perks. Acrobatics not bad though for movement speed, and then perk 2 obviously going for fully loaded. Pretty standard Vanguard setup here, but it is now statistically better than ever as well. Then for the PPSH, I am going for the ADS build in this case. Still running the recoil booster for the better fire rate. Going for the Zach 300mm barrel, going to be even better after that buff to the long range damage there, that minimum damage area. For the optic, I actually really like the ISO 3P iron sights for ADS. They're just nice and clean. Going for a move stock for the better movement speed primarily. Also going to go for hand stop here for the better control. Going to run the Garanko 71 round drums for the better TTK on an ADS build. Lengthened again, polymer or fabric, choice is yours. Perk 1, going for tight grip, better control. Perk 2, quick for that better sprint speed. Super fun setup. Definitely competes with things like the MP40, the Owen gun, the Welgun, etc., etc. Next up, 2 Cold War guns. The Vargo, which is now right there with the FARA, right there with the XM4s, those top options. A little bit better than the AK, I would say, because the recoil is way easier here. Pairing this with the Lapa, which is just a demon up close, insanely, insanely good TTK. As far as the Vargo setup goes, you guessed it, it's the copy and paste. Cruise suppressor, task force, Spetsnaz, 45 or 60, 3x optic, no changes per usual. For the Lapa, we're going for the agency suppressor. Rifled barrel here gives us that best close range TTK. Also going for the Tiger Team Spotlight, better mobility. Terrible iron sights, so we got to go for microflex. Then I also go for the 50 or the 40 round mag. Either of those work just fine. Then we got another fun one, the PKM and the Type 100. Type 100, even better all around as an SMG now, better for sniper support, really, really good for close range as well with an absurd TTK. PKM is a powerhouse at range, does actually have one of the more competitive TTKs in the game, also super easy to use. Going for the monolithic suppressor first and foremost, also the extended barrel for the best damage, range, velocity, best control as well. We're also going to go for the snatch grip here, which is unique to the PKM, better control and a better ADS. You'll love to see that. Going for VLK 3x optic. And then lastly, I like attack laser on here just to help get that ADS speed a little bit faster, make it a bit more aggressive in general. Then for the Type 100, this one's tricky because I'm building this for max mobility, max close range dominance, right? Not so much sniper support in this case. Recoil booster first and foremost. We're also going to go for the rapid barrel. Now that said, the control with these two on there is not super great. I'm going to go for the slate reflector, and to counter that control, which is primarily horizontal movement, which is not ideal, I'm going to end up running the T100 stock, better ADS and better horizontal control. I'm going to end up running the hand stop on there, the Kurz 48 just for the magazine size, primarily alongside lengthened. Also, the hatched grip, better horizontal control on here as well, which really does make this a lot more usable in some of those close range fights. Gung Ho, phenomenal here for that instant sprint to fire, then also quick for the better sprint speed. Super fun setup. It does take some getting used to though. Quick little sniper build here with the newly buffed Cooper Carbine as sniper support, which is now going to be super, super competitive there. ZRG setup, same setup that we covered the other day in our top 10 loadouts. Sound moderator for that better ADS, but still keeping us off the map. Combat recon for insane velocity, 5 milliwatt for the better ADS, 6x because that base optic is just not ideal. 5 round mag because the base magazine is not ideal. And then for the Cooper Carbine here, pretty standard, close to mid-range setup. MX silencer to keep us off the map, extend extend that sniper support range a little bit. Same deal with the Cooper Custom, better range there for that sniper support area. 2.5 times optic. It's got like that perfect zoom for close range and mid range, and it's not like too much zoom for close range either. 45 RS stock, better control while firing, also better initial recoil as well, I believe. Hand stop, better control. 9mm 60, better control and really good for close range. Lengthened for that better velocity and mid range. Polymer for better control. Tight grip, same deal. Fully loaded to maximize that ammo. And then lastly, real quick, yes, the AK got nerfed. I still think it is a top option that you could pair with any of these subs today. Owen gun, Welgun, doesn't matter. It's just going to be harder to use than it was before. And like I said, I think the XM4, I think the FARA, I think even the STG can rival this in many different scenarios now. So you can still use this. It's just going to take more skill to really master and optimize that TTK. Same setup though, per usual, as with all the other Cold War rifles. So no surprise there. But that being said, those, in my opinion, are the new best loadouts to be running after this latest weapon tuning update. And that's going to wrap things up for today. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. News, updates, loadouts, tips. You're going to find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with those notifications turned on. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.